Mellow greetings, everybody. My name is James. I am from the internet, and today we are going to take a look at a tale of two trials, and more importantly, the difference in how quickly the gears of justice move depending upon who or what is on trial. Now, this is what it looked like outside the courthouse as they were getting ready for jury selection in the trial of Derek Chauvin, who is the cop who knelt on George Floyd for more than 9 minutes and smothered him to death. And as is usually the case in these sorts of trials, the state is going to go out of its way to defend itself, its systems, and its apparatus first and foremost. Because even though the police work for the state, so technically it is the state, their processes, and their people that are on trial, the state needs to ensure that people know it is still firmly in control regardless of what the outcome is. It is also worth noting that a lot of the times when the police kill somebody and there is an eventual trial, the state drags ass and tries to wait 2 or 3 years before it gets to the point of jury selection so as to let the public sentiment sort of die down a little bit and make sure that there aren't future protests. In this specific instance, the state is going full bore, a million miles an hour ahead. Why? Because they already know that nothing is going to come of this trial. Chauvin's not going to get convicted of a major crime. At best, he will be convicted of a lesser crime. And even if he is convicted, he's not going to go to jail. How do I know this? Because only 1% of all police who go to trial for a major crime, like killing somebody, get convicted. And of that 1%, approximately 80% of those never see the inside of a jail cell. So mathematically speaking, there is a very slim chance that anything bad is going to happen to the police, Derek Chauvin, or the government at large. At this point, they're just protecting their ass and trying to get this done as quickly as possible so they can get to the small bit of unrest that will pop up again. They can smother it, and then everybody can go back to normal. And while the media and activists around the country are focused on the Derek Chauvin trial coming up, Kyle Rittenhouse and his legal team managed to negotiate a deal with the state to just sort of hang out and chill for another 9 months. Prosecutors and a defense attorney for Kyle Rittenhouse agreed to move the start of Rittenhouse's trial in the fatal shootings during protests in Kenosha, Wisconsin, from March all the way to November 1st. Rittenhouse, 18, was arraigned back on January 5th on 2 felony charges of homicide in the deaths of 2 men and a felony attempted homicide charge in the wounding of another man during street protests in Kenosha. And for those who may have forgotten, the Kyle Rittenhouse shootings took place at a protest that was happening after police in Kenosha shot unarmed black man Jacob Blake in the back and left him paralyzed for life. And Kenosha, much like Minneapolis, really does not want to have another Black Lives Matter movement series of protests happening through their city. However, they're going to take a completely different angle. Minneapolis going to go armed to the teeth, ram this decision down people's throats, squash the dissent quickly, and get back to business as usual. In Kenosha, they want absolutely no part of that shit. And more importantly, they really don't want it happening at the same time as the Chauvin trial is going on. Because once Chauvin either ends up getting acquitted or gets a slap on the wrist, God forbid that happens while this trial is going on in Kenosha, well then Kenosha's going to have an even larger problem on its hands. Kenosha is managing social upheaval here and not actual justice. Quote, I believe the parties are jointly prepared to indicate to the court that we will not be prepared on that date, Assistant District Attorney Thomas Binger said on Wednesday. There are a number of outstanding issues in discovery, some DNA testing, and some other issues that need to be taken care of. He also noted that there are also some logistics with regard to the eventual jury that will need to be hammered out. Why no mention of what those issues or logistics are? Because again, Kenosha does not want to be brought up in the same sentence as Minneapolis while a cop is on trial. This is all about managing the local populace and their outrage. Rittenhouse said he was okay with the change when asked by Judge Bruce Schroeder. He's been out on $2 million bail. Now, much like Derek Chauvin, Kyle Rittenhouse also very much wants to be free. The difference is Derek Chauvin knows his actual freedom occurs the day his trial ends. Kyle Rittenhouse, not so sure, because even though he is a worshiper of the state, there's no guarantee that the state is going to take care of him as well as they are going to take care of Chauvin. So Rittenhouse is going to stay free for as long as possible, because God forbid, the cop apologist ends up going to jail, unlike the cop, well then, that's going to be the end of freedom time. So as these two cases continue to unfold, take note of the speed at which the gears of justice move forward in both trials. Maybe, just maybe, you will come to have a greater appreciation for how hard the state will work to take care of itself when it's properly motivated by maintaining its own authority and self-interests. Until next time, my name is James. I am from the internet and I am out. Peace.